Howdy y'all, Dr. K, and before I send you off for our second to last weekly reminder of what day is it, here comes a big learning moment, okay? So, we had Lesson Study Central. You were sent over to Lesson Study Central to prepare for this multiple times. And the very first thing inside Lesson Study Central is Lesson Study Getting Started. Please review the materials inside this folder first. Okay, what was inside this folder? That was so important you were supposed to do it first. Detailed guidelines, PDF, right, blah, blah, blah. Lesson Study website, lesson study, samples of DI lessons, other resources, and the rubric, which several people didn't look at. It's right here, guys. The components that had to be present in the whole of the lesson study artifact, the process and the artifact. And rubrics are our best friends. They clarify what has to be present, again, both in the process and in whatever the artifact is, whether it's a speech or it's a video or it's a PowerPoint or a Prezi or a this or a that or the other. A rubric is a gift. A rubric leaves nothing to be surprised by, right? And several, I'm telling you, it was pretty obvious. Several people just didn't bother looking at the rubric. Guys, in an online course, you can't leave anything to chance. Unless I tell you something is a skimmer, you've got to go through it. There is nothing here that is superfluous or a waste of time. I give you some things are going to speak more to one person than another. Okay, that kind of fits with DI. Yes, you have a plethora to choose from, but that's because, again, some materials, whether it's an article or a video or a different way of presenting the information in a video or whatever, it is going to speak to different students differently. And sure, not everything is going to be aces in your book, but what works for you may not work for somebody else. But a rubric, you've got to go through. You've got to go through in a detailed fashion. And particularly when you get to the master's level, 600 level courses, rubrics are going to have nuances in them that the instructions won't. And in fact, the irony is there's more clarity in these rubrics. People make fun of me because my rubrics are too detailed. They're like, why don't you just put a general heading? Well, a general heading doesn't tell you how to be successful. Every rubric I design is truly there to ensure you know what you need to do or communicate or clarify or demonstrate to be successful. And I'm not saying this to beat anybody up. I'm saying this so you recognize going forward, if you made this mistake, please do not make it anymore in this class or in your future courses. You shortchange yourself. And again, I am empathetic. I know you're like, I work, I have a job, and I have a family, and I do this and I do that, which is why the rubrics are so detailed. So you don't have to sit around and go, I don't know what needs to go in this thing. The rubric tells you. The rubric is spot on. If you need to have 2 of this and 4 of that, it's going to be there. Okay? So, please, if you made the mistake of not going through the folder, of not going through the materials, okay, let this be a learning opportunity. Excuse me. Everybody slips. Everybody has their moments. Heaven knows I've had them and will continue to have them. It is what it is. But do we learn from that? Hopefully the answer is yes. Okay? So with that said, here we are. It's the middle of week 7, and you're now working on your signature assignment paper. Please, 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 on bended knee, I want you to be successful. I want you to rock this work and demonstrate and even continue learning as you're doing your demonstration of mastery, right? The learning, with great assessment, the learning doesn't stop. With great assessment, the learning becomes that much more clear to the individual as he or she is working on whatever that final demonstration of mastery is. That, to me, and philosophically, this is me. I'm not telling you this is a golden rule for the heavens, even though I kind of think it is. A great assessment is one in which the learning becomes that much more clear and clarified and richer and more personal for the individual student. It's a big part of my philosophy, my DI as well as my general philosophy. All right, the paper, the signature assignment paper, along with the Prezi, is due next Sunday. Use the rubric as you work on it. There are no surprises here. It is here to ensure your success. Use it, right? It's like not knowing how to sail and having a YouTube video with a master sailor right in front of you, and you choose to kind of go it alone, and you capsize the boat instead of spending the time to watch the video and go, oh, I'm supposed to jib that jab, or this, that, the, or pull which rope? Okay, don't capsize the boat. You've worked too hard. You've come too far. So, poof, I'm done. There we go. And what day is it? Click below to find out. Thank you very much.